So, hi everybody. I'm here with Darius Rucker, and we're going to talk a little bit, have a little bit of an interview. So, obviously, you're doing the free concert on Sunday for USC students. I will be there. As a USC alum, does it feel good to be coming back?
Absolutely. I mean, anytime I get to come back, I love it. But going back the way we're going back because we just I'm sorry about that. Because we just won a national championship is awesome.
Mhm. All right. And have things on campus changed at all over the years to you?
Oh goodness, yeah. First of all, where I live is torn down. Let's just start there. Where we live is torn down. That's a change. The campus has grown so much since we were there. I mean, the buildings that have gone up and all the great stuff that has come. I mean, it's grown so much, and it's beautiful to see. Like when I do get to Columbia and I drive around, I love it. I wish I was back at USC right now.
Yeah. What was your major when you were here?
Broadcast journalism.
All righty. Yeah, that program has grown a lot.
Yes, even when I was there, it was great. It was one of the best in the country when I was there. So, to see all the great things they're doing, the big strides they're making, I love it.
Yeah. So did you do any broadcast journalism on campus? Maybe a little bit of like...
I did. And, Mark, I would go on air with Mark. Mark was a DJ at WUSC.
Oh, yeah.
And, I'd go up there every now and then when he was spinning his records and stuff, and it was awesome. But, it was, I once gotten hooty, I guess, I wasn't going to really do anything else for a while.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
My next question was, because I'm a part of WSC, I'm sure you were aware of that. And Mark Bryan is a WSC alum, so I was going to ask if you regret not being a DJ like he was, because I do. You have such...
I do, and it was one of those things where all I had to do was go do it. I never did, and he had so much fun with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the first time I ever heard myself on the radio was Mark playing on WSC.
Yeah.
And I should have been a DJ. You're right.
And so, as I said before, I'm a Charleston native too. So is it weird knowing that at any given day in the city, you're probably the most famous person there?
Oh goodness, no, I doubt that. There's a lot of famous people in Charleston, but I don't think about that stuff. Like I was just walking down King Street just now.
Oh yeah.
I just love this town so much, and it's so home for me. I don't even think about it that way. I enjoy it and go out and just it's my favorite city in the world.
Do you think I'm sure people are kind of used to you now, but do you still get like stopped a lot and asked for interviews all the time on the streets in Charleston?
People say hi a lot, but they'll ask for selfies and stuff like that a lot, but that's part of the deal, I mean, if that's what I have to call a problem, then I'm doing pretty good for myself.
I mean, that's great. So, onto the music. Who do you think are some of your biggest influences in songwriting?
Oh, songwriting was probably R.E.M. and that whole thing. Al Green was a big influence on me as a kid. I don't know if his influence comes out very much in the songwriting side, but he was just really big for me. But those bands that were coming around, R.E.M. and U2 and those bands that were really big in the early '80s, really kind of shaped what we. So I guess those guys would be really the influences.
Mm-hmm.
In country music, it's easy. Randy Foster,
yeah.
He's the guy that for me is, every time I open my mouth to sing country music, I'm trying to be Randy Foster. So.
Okay. And what do you think it is about music that makes you feel like really passionate?
Oh man, I wish I knew. Because if I knew, I would bottle it. It's just something about music for people. And for most people I know, and it's not a genre or it's something. It's a song that makes them feel either the way they want to feel, or the way they don't want to feel, or the way they need to feel. you know. But it's always some song or something, and music does that to people, and that's why, you know, that's why people, I think, miss live music so much during COVID, because they wanted to get that fix, and now that's why I think concerts are doing so well, because people need that. They want it. It's part of their soul.
Yeah. Do you think it was hard during COVID to not be able to perform at all? Like, do you think you really missed that?
I didn't know how much I loved it. I knew it was what I wanted to do. It's all I've ever said I wanted to do, and here I get to do it. You know, on the scale I get to do it at my age. But when I couldn't do it, I really realized, man, I love to play music. I just love to play music.
Mhm. Did you do anything like small, like maybe play with your family or anything like that, just to like get through the pandemic or anything like that?
Not really. You know, not really. You know, the only thing really that was happening was people were writing on Zoom. You know, but that's not like playing the show or anything. So, but it helped a little.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. So what is one track that never gets old for you, no matter how many times you hear it?
Hear it or sing it? Like a song for me? Because there's a million songs for me that never get old.
Okay, how about we do both? I'm going to make it really hard for you. Do one that you've sung, one of your songs, and then one song that you have to pick as like your favorite all-time song that's not yours.
Oh, I can't pick a favorite all-time song. I can pick a bunch of songs, but my favorite song is you know, changes every day, and sometimes it's whatever song I'm listening to at that moment.
Oh, I
you know,
totally.
There's so many great songs in the world that mean so much to me that, you know, at any moment they could be my favorite song. So yeah, I could never say my favorite. You know, the one song for me that I sing that never gets old, but Let Her Cry never gets old.
Mhm.
You know,
that's one of my mom's favorites too.
And I've been playing that song since I was in college. Right after college, I wrote that song. At 21, 22, here I am, 55. And I'm still playing it, and it never gets old.
Could you go into like maybe a little bit of inspiration to that song?
That song came from it was the first night I heard "She Talks to Angels" by the Black Crowes. I heard it at Monterey Jack's. Chris Carney, who was my business manager now, was the bartender and played it at Monterey Jack's, and freaked out the first time I heard it. I mean, I was really like blown away. I just thought, wow, what an amazing song! And you know, I heard it a few more times at Monterey, then Yes, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can. Let's start back at the inspiration for Let Her Cry.
Okay, yeah. I was sitting in Monterey Jackson. I heard the song "She Talks to Angels" for the first time, and I heard it a tons that night. I tipped a lot to hear it a tons that night, and I went home and I was pretty drunk, and I put on this Bonnie Raitt record called Home Plate. And I remember I said to myself after the record was over, I said, I'm going to write "She Talks to Angels" for Bonnie Raitt. And I wrote "Let Her Cry."
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I had an English teacher who always said you should write drunk and edit sober. So thank you for setting the record straight once and for all. You absolutely should. I know the second that the free concert was announced, I saw so many people posting everywhere that if we don't get to hear Let Her Cry, there will be a riot. So not to put pressure on you, but I am just saying, I think the fans are expecting it.
I'll take it.
So speaking of concerts, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened during a concert for you?
Crazy how? The strangest thing that ever happened. I'll tell this one story, but we were playing a show somewhere in like Jersey or something, and so we're at an after party, and it's backstage, and there's this guy standing over in the corner. He's got on a white three-piece suit, white shoes, white socks, white tie, just all matching white. And he's standing over there, and so I'm feeling pretty good. So after a while, I walk over and I introduce myself to him, and hey, I'm Darius, what's your name? And he just looks me in the eye and he said, I'm your guardian angel.
Oh, wow.
and he had that look, that kind of like far away look in his eyes, but he was looking right through me. And so I freaked out, and I thought, it was crazy or whatever, and I was freaked out, and I ran away, and told those guys, and, they sort of kept, it was crazy. And so about 4 days later, 5 days later, maybe a week later, we're playing Vegas at the Hard Rock. And the old Hard Rock was the joint in the Hard Rock, Vegas. And there's this area in the back where you walk in where, like, it's impossible to get to unless you're with the band or crew. And we're walking, me and Dean, the bass player, are walking, and I got my head down, and I get to the door, and I look up, and that kid is standing right there. And he looks at me and goes, "I told you I'm here to protect you." And I lost my friggin' mind. I ran so fast. Yeah, it was so freaky. That was so freaky. He freaked me out that day. He did. I admit it.
Oh,
yeah.
My goodness. Did he say what he was, like, protecting you from? Did he think there was any danger?
Nope, he said he was my guardian angel. He was there to protect me.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I think that's a question that I usually like to ask musicians. I'm going to say that ranks top. That's the best answer I've ever heard to a question like that. Terrifying, but...
That was terrifying, absolutely.
And what's your favorite concert that you've ever played? That might be really hard, but...
Oh, yeah, that one I couldn't, I played so much, like, we can go as far back as, playing 74,000 people in Charleston in '90. That was awesome. The show we played in East Lansing was awesome. There's a show in Glasgow. That was the 3,000 people. The week our second record came out, that was magic. That's the only word you can describe it. It was just perfect. But there's so many shows like that I couldn't say one because we played thousands, tens of thousands probably.
Okay. And when you guys were getting your start, what was the Columbia music scene like? Like, is it a lot different now than you think it was?
Oh, I don't know the music scene right now, but I know when we were there was a great scene on the East Coast. Because from New York down to Florida and then to Tennessee and Kentucky and everything, and all those states, there were these college towns that had these bars. There was always, every college town had the same thing. They had one bar that held 200 or 300 that you started in and you tried to do good. Then they had one bar that was between 5 and 1,000 that was the place that you wanted to play. And it was great. Before we got our record deal, we each made like over $50,000 just playing bars. And back then, that was a lot of money. But we're playing the same clubs every 6 weeks.
Yeah. Do you remember the very first bar that you might have played in?
Oh, I remember like it was yesterday. It was where the bookstore is over across from where the honeycombs were. You remember where the honeycombs were? And right across the street was like 7-Eleven, and I think it's a bookstore. But before that, it was a chicken wing joint called Pappy's that was in there, and it was chicken wings and beer. That's what he served. Pappy was an old ball Marine that would take a pan when he took his fake ID. He'd take a pan and bang it so everybody could see him cut it up. But he was it was just that was the first place we ever played. We played there a few times before we played anywhere else. He was cool. He liked us a lot and let us come and let these two guys and then a band come and play, and it started our history.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. I really think that people sort of resonate with bands that got their start in college because everybody has like the bands that they follow when they're in school.
Oh, absolutely.
So like right now there's like a couple bands that like we follow and like we always go out to see them every weekend, and like people really appreciate being able to see like when somebody like that makes it big, like that's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And
do you think that you and your bandmates in Hootie and the Blowfish like ever thought you'd make it big at the beginning? Like, did you have any expectation of what would happen?
No, we wanted to get a record deal and everything. We thought we'd give it a shot. If if you said asking if I thought we were going to sell 20-something million records on our first debut album, of course not. Nobody thinks that. But we thought we'd get a shot, But and then when things started getting crazy, when things started getting there, grunge was king and everything, and we got a record deal, and we just wanted a shot, and we got one from our record label, and they did all right.
That's amazing. And so now you've had the opportunity to do things like, I read that you performed for Frank Sinatra for his 80th birthday, and you've joined the Grand Ole Opry. Do you think you'll ever get used to things like that, or is it always going to be really exciting and amazing?
No, I'll never get used to it. I still get there's still things that I get to do all the time that I still like being a member of the Opry. That's just just saying that is wow. And because I guess at the end of the day, I'm still just that kid from Charleston who moved to Columbia and met a couple of dudes, and we got real lucky.
Mhm. Yeah, that's amazing. And I have to ask, what was Frank Sinatra's birthday party like? Was it fun?
The party was when we played was cool. The after party was awesome. The after party was awesome.
And what was the point that you realized, okay, I've made it? Was it had to have been Frank Sinatra's birthday party, right?
I still don't think that bad. It was probably, I don't know. I'll let you know when that happens, I guess.
Really?
I don't really know.
Do you still feel like you're working for your success? You're not quite where you want to be. You think you can still always be bigger and better?
Always. I don't think I don't ever want to not be hungry for this. And I think if I started looking at that, I would lose my hunger. So yeah, I'm always trying to make it.
Okay. And is there any advice that you would give to aspiring musicians?
Yeah, I always say this. This is what I said. I said this the other day to a band. Take what people say to you. Don't take it with a grain of salt. Just take it. Because take half of the great ones are too great, and half of the bad ones are too bad. And I always ask what the number one selling record of all time is. Right now in the States, it's the Eagles' greatest hits, and I think it sold 31 million copies or something. And that basically means that 315 million people didn't like it. So it's not everybody's going to like it. Just play for your audience, play for who you want to play for, write the songs you want to write, and forget all the other stuff.
Amazing. Okay, so last but not least, I have to ask. I saw that you're performing with Nelly.
Yes.
And that seems like a very interesting matchup. Are you guys friends, or who made?
Oh, we're friends.
I
sang on his
connection.
I sang on his last record, and we're friends and everything. And the thing is, I was doing a show for the women's basketball team for the university. And as cool as it is, not everybody wants to come just to hear me playing rock and roll and my country music. And so I wanted that, I wanted the diversity for the students and for everybody. And so I called Nelly up and said, man, what's your price? And he gave me a good one. I said, come on down and play for me. And he said, absolutely.
Oh, I love that. I was wondering because I was like, oh, Nelly must be a Gamecock or something.
I really just wanted to give students more than just.
That makes sense.
I wanted them to have another, and Ellie he was great, and he's perfect, and he's going to be awesome.
No, I was already very excited to be able to see you, and then finding out that Nelly was going to be there too, I was like, wow, this is insane. This is so exciting. All right, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been Darius Rucker. You can catch him and Nelly this Sunday at the Colonial Life Arena. That is if you won the ticket lottery. Don't forget, guys, that this week is also fundraiser week here at WUSC. If you'd like to donate, you can go to WUSC.FM and click the little donate button. And if you'd like to hang out with DJs like me and support the station while listening to some good local music, you can come out to our concert at FEMX Columbia this Saturday night. And is there anything you'd like to tell the fans before you go?
No, come on out. Let's have some fun.
Alrighty. Thank
All
you
right.
so much. This has been so exciting.
I'll see you later. You take care. Nice talking to you, bro.
Nice talking to you too. Bye-bye.
Take care.